Hey guys, me as for today, guys. I'll be giving you guys my Manchester City versus Real Madrid match preview. Now, for me, honestly, this is the most difficult match to call, and probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most. This is definitely, in my opinion, the best round of 16 tie there is, and I think this is a good one from both perspectives. The game itself, and then of course the emotional aspects as well. And I just think this one's it's hard to it's hard to call which team is going to win this. Honestly, to be honest with you guys. So let's move on to the dates for the legs. All right. So the first leg will be taking place on February 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time at the Santiago Bernabeu. And then March 17th, 4 p.m. will be the Etihad Stadium. That will be the return leg. All right. So let's move on to the head-to-head record. So as you guys can see right here, Real Madrid have the edge right here. And I wouldn't say like it's about even. It's not like, one of these teams are completely dominating the other. No, it's pretty about even, which is good. Obviously, that makes things more interesting. And for those of you guys who are wondering, the last time these two teams met was in a club friendly in July 2017, where Manchester City did win against Real Madrid. However, let's be real, guys. I don't think that's obviously not a competitive fixture. And Manchester City, Real Madrid have got the better of Manchester City, and Manchester City they have never won against Real Madrid in a competitive fixture. I believe Real Madrid beated them, Manchester City, on the route to the final. Could you guys imagine that Manchester City had won that game, aggregate against Real Madrid? They would have potentially have faced Atletico Madrid. I think, was it right? I think they would have faced Atletico Madrid. I don't know how that would have played out, though. That's way back in the day. I wasn't even into football that time. I wasn't really well versed in football that time, so I really have no idea. But could you imagine that we would have seen Manchester City, and they could have potentially won the Champions League, Not even with Pep Guardiola. I don't think Pep Guardiola was in charge that time. I don't think so. I think he took charge at 2016, I think he took charge 2016, 2017. Or was it 17, 18? No, I think it was 16, 17. Or maybe, I don't know. He's been in the club for more than, I think this is his third season. Yeah, I think maybe 17, 18 actually. Anyways, let's just move on. All right. So as far as the European form is concerned, Champions League, Manchester City finished first in a relatively easy group. I think most people could easily predict that they would have easy groups. They always somehow get easy groups now, and now they have a very difficult group, a very difficult round of 16. So this is what I'm telling you guys, is that just because you have an easy group does not necessarily mean you're guaranteed to win the Champions League. That only gives you an easy passage, So I think it's good that Manchester City actually got a real tough task in the round of 16. It would be fair. All right. Real Madrid, they finished second in Group A. Relatively, how do I put this in words? They started off on the wrong foot, and then they vastly improved. They vastly improved and really made amends. And after the first two match days, 3-0 loss to Paris Saint-Germain, a 2-2 draw against Club Brugge, I think they revitalized themselves with a 1-0 win against Galatasaray. Then afterwards, they got a 6-0 win against Galatasaray. Then I believe they had a 2-2 draw with Paris Saint-Germain. And then they won 3-1 against Club Brugge. So you can see this team has significantly improved from those first two match days. So as far as last season's concerned, both of these teams lost really embarrassingly to their opponents last season. Manchester City lost to Tottenham Hotspur on away goals in the quarterfinals. Remember that disallowed goal. Man, that second leg, man, that was crazy. At the Etihad Stadium. Could you imagine, guys, 7 goals? I could never have predicted 7 goals would happen in that game. Yeah. And honestly, to tell you the truth, Manchester City should not have lost that. They should not have lost that. Manchester City should have won that. All right. As far as Real Madrid is concerned, Real Madrid just looked awful. They lost to Ajax in the round of 16. That was embarrassing. And who was the coach at that time? I believe it was Lopetegui. I think it was Lopetegui. Oh, Solari. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was on Lopetegui. Santiago Solari. And like I said, guys, Real Madrid have vastly improved since then. And guys, keep in mind, guys, Zinedine Zidane has never lost a two-legged round of 16, two-legged European tie. So that could be very vital here. That could be vital. And the same could be said for Jurgen Klopp as well. And I did find out the other day, Diego Simeone, he's never lost a two-legged tie to someone non-Ronaldo. So that's a very impressive record to never have lost to never lose to anyone again besides Ronaldo. So as of the current last match today, week, Manchester City are currently second in the league with 53 points. Yes, I know they should be 56, I believe. I didn't update that because I just didn't put the current match day because not all teams have played the current match day. And Real Madrid are currently first in the league with 53 points. Not first in the league anymore. I think it's pretty safe to establish that Manchester City cannot win the Premier League. I think it's a pretty obvious one. While in La Liga, it's still really close. I don't think we can really call a winner in La Liga quite yet. This one will come down to the wire. I mean, we all know it's either going to be Barca or Real Madrid. None of the other teams really stand much of a chance. All right. So moving on. All right. So Manchester City, the biggest strengths and weaknesses. Manchester City strengths, quality attackers. Their attackers are insane, very prolific indeed. Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Sergio Aguero, Gabriel Jesus, Riyad Mahrez. I mean, these guys are incredible. And now, I do agree that Manchester City, their attack has not been as prolific as this season. They've kind of prolificated, I guess, this season. This season's kind of a bit below expectations. The fact that they've lost 6 times in the Premier League, and the fact that this team just doesn't really look as menacing as before, as threatening as before, which could hinder them a lot. One of the biggest weaknesses I've noticed is their defense. Their defense is not good. I am sorry. When you have to put midfielders in your defense, that's when you know things aren't good. And I think the departure of Vincent Kompany has really screwed them over, And while people could have said, oh, yeah, that's not really a big deal, that's a big loss. That's a huge loss indeed. And I think with Vincent Kompany, they now have to rely on Fernandinho as a center back. And they, of course, have to rely on midfielders and defenders. Just doesn't work, I don't care if it is a defensive midfield. You just cannot put your midfielders in defense. Their mentality. One of the things I always notice about Manchester City is that their mentality is not very good. Their mentality is pretty poor, And I think this comes down to a lack of confidence. The fact that they know they can't win the Premier League is just hurting them so much. And the fact they haven't won the Champions League. They're one of the best English teams in the world, and they couldn't have even won the Champions League and not even get close to final. I mean, I can accept the fact that they haven't won a Champions League. It's very hard. But you would have at least expected them under Pep Guardiola to at least reach the semifinal or even the final itself. And they haven't even got that far in the stage. They've only got to the quarterfinals. And which is really disappointing because they really should have beaten Monaco. They should have been able to beat Liverpool, and they should have easily been able to beat Tottenham Hotspur. None of those 3 teams, in my opinion, should have beaten them. All right? It's outstanding, it's ridiculous, and absurd. And I can assure you guys, had they brushed upon at least one of those 3, they would have made it to the Champions League final, and maybe even potentially have won it. Okay, I don't know if they would have won it though. That's a really hypothetical, and it's very difficult to call. But I can assure you that if they had brushed upon one of those teams, they would have at least reached the final. So as far as Real Madrid is concerned, their experience. The experience is very important in this competition. As you guys saw, they have won this competition 13 times. They are the team that has won the Champions League the most. And of course, with Zinedine Zidane, this guy is been lethal. And as I told you guys before, he has never lost a 2-legged affair, guys. He's never lost. Remember that Juventus game it was 2017-2018, where they lost 3-1 the return leg? Guess what? Ronaldo came in and just won Real Madrid the tie. Even though Real Madrid weren't that good in that game in particular, and against Bayern Munich, they didn't look that good against Liverpool. And they still did it, man. So Real Madrid knows how to win. They don't have to play very entertaining football. They're very, very result-oriented. And that's what is vital in this competition. Like I said, guys, you don't have much room for error. You really don't. You only have 2 legs, 2 games 280 minutes, 290 minutes, my bad, and that comes out to 180 minutes. You only have 3 hours to decide which team will advance. And their defense is great. Their defense is one of the best. They believe they've conceded the least in the Europe's top 5 divisions. They've conceded only like 15, I believe, something like that. I might be wrong about how many they conceded, though. They really have a very good quality defense. Carvajal, Sergio Ramos, Marcelo, not to mention, of course, they also have Rafael Varane. You know, they have very good players defensively. And they are very rock solid, you know. One of the biggest weaknesses I've noticed, though, is that they cannot score many. They cannot score many, which is understandable considering that Ronaldo's big departure. You know, Ronaldo departed over the summer. I'm not summer, at 17-18 after the Champions League final. That's probably one of the biggest weaknesses they've succumbed to notice. And, you know, scoring is very important in this competition. So we essentially have a very strong offensive team and a very strong defensive team. So I guess you could kind of say this is like the Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool. And yeah. And for me, Pep Guardiola has to treat this one of two ways. He has to give it everything he's got. Because remember, guys, Manchester City, as it speaks right now, as of now, they are currently banned from the Champions League the next 2 seasons. And if they, I think that they need to do this. They need to prove everything they got here. This is a very monumental task. And this could give Manchester City the edge they need. Because with this ban, that can give them the more motivation. As if this game wasn't motivation enough. Beating Real Madrid and knocking them out of the Champions League will be an incredible achievement. I can assure you guys, Pep Guardiola will love it. And I would certainly love it too, because you guys know I'm a Barcelona fan. And I would love for Real Madrid to get knocked out so early in this competition. And it would be awesome. It would be so amazing. And it would give, like, the easiest route to the final. Because I genuinely think if they can do this, they can beat any team. Beating Real Madrid, the Masters. Now, I wouldn't say they are the Champions League favorites right now. It's obviously Liverpool. But they are still a very good team. They have won this competition the most, and beating them will be a massive achievement on their half. And I don't know if that's going to happen. It's a very difficult to call. And considering Madrid are in a currently bad run of form, they've only won one in the last 4 games, this could be vital. I mean, Real Madrid may not look good. I mean, Manchester City also have not, they've looked decent. You know, they had one against Leicester City, they won against West Ham. But I think it's the confidence that Manchester City needs the most to overcome Real Madrid. Because, honestly, to tell you the truth, guys, I think Manchester City can beat Real Madrid. But it's not really a matter of can they. It's a matter of will they, you know. And this is where I got really tricky, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to give my score prediction. Some of you guys are going to come up and be really crazy. I'm going to probably get a lot of hate for this one. And here is my score prediction, guys. I'm going with Real Madrid just to win on penalty shootouts, guys. Yes, a penalty shootout will be required to determine the winner. I'm going to go with a 3-3 aggregate score and 4-1 for penalties for Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid will win on penalties. You guys saw how Manchester City sucks on penalties. They have not done too well. So I'm going with Real Madrid just to win this just about the smidgest. All right. Now, I wouldn't be completely surprised if Manchester City wins. Obviously, I put the score really, really close. But yeah, guys, I think this is very, very tough to call. And I just think that... Wait, actually, I just realized. Let me edit this real quick. Let me go with the 4-4 draw. Yes, I realized if I had done that, then it would have been... Manchester City would have gone through on away goals. But we're doing this instead. So 4-4. All right. So 2-2 draw, 2-2 draw. And I'll go 4-1 on penalties for the Real Madrid on this one. So let me know what you guys think below in the comments below, guys. I'm almost running out of time. And yeah, so like I said, guys, this is a very, very feisty clash. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think below in the comments below. And yes, I will be giving my own detailed perspective on the game tomorrow against Barcelona. Tuesday, Barcelona versus Napoli versus Barcelona. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, guys. Peace out. And please subscribe to the channel, man. Please do so. And if you guys enjoy this video, guys, thumbs up.